So it's similar to Leave Your Name at the Border. Girl by Jamaica Kincaid also uses narrative tension in order to construct a narrative, but also to raise some questions or to raise a sort of argument of sorts. So I'm going to also read the first third of the essay to you and then stop and point out a couple of places where I think the writer is beginning to build narrative tension. So, Girl by Jamaica Kincaid. Wash the white clothes on Monday and put them on the stone heap. Wash the color clothes on Tuesday and put them on the clothesline. Don't walk barehead in the hot sun. Cook pumpkin fritters in very hot, sweet oil. Soak your little clothes right after you take them off. When buying cotton to make yourself a nice blouse, be sure it doesn't have gum in it, because that way it won't hold up well after a wash. Soak saltfish overnight before you cook it. Is it true that you sing Benna in Sunday school? Always eat your food in such a way that it won't turn someone else's stomach. On Sundays, try to walk like a lady, and not like the slut you were bent on becoming. Don't sing Benna in Sunday school. You mustn't speak to the wharf rat boys, not even to give directions. Don't eat fruits in the street, flies will follow you. But I don't sing Benna on Sundays, or at all, and never in Sunday school. This is how to sew a button. This is how to make a buttonhole for a dress you've just sewed on. And this is how to hem a dress when you see the bottom coming down, so as to prevent yourself from looking like the slut I know you are so bent on becoming. So I'll stop there. So in first third of the essay or narrative, it's an exchange between a mother and a daughter. And the mother is really giving a set of directions or instructions to the daughter on how to be a proper grown woman. Some of the things that I want to just point out is first the sentence structure. The entire narrative is one really long sentence. So instead of breaking this up into shorter sentences, the author has chosen to use a semicolon to separate the units of sentence instead of a period. This has the effect of creating a sort of like long laundry list of directions. It's almost as though the mother is shouting at the daughter through text in this litany of directions. Some of the other things that I want to really point out are um, beginning with the direction to not sing Benna on Sunday school, and then we get a repetition of that a little bit later on. Benna is a word that refers to a sort of calypso music, so it's a sort of fun music, it's a sort of party atmosphere music. It's not the kind of thing that belong in religious school or should be or would be considered appropriate to sing on a religious day. So she's really sort of policing the daughter's ability to express herself. Um, we also notice that twice in this selection she refers to her daughter as a slut. First time is here, and then the second time comes after she was talking about the buttonhole. So if we think just about tone in general, right, the term slut, it has very negative connotations. It's a kind of a violent word. It is not the kind of word you typically think of a mother speaking to her daughter. So we're already starting to characterize some of the tension that exists between the mother and the daughter. I want to also just point out this italicized portion of the text here. Um, there are a few instances within the narrative where the daughter is allowed to speak. And this is one of the first instances where the daughter sort of interrupts the mother and says, hey, I don't do that. And, I never do it in Sunday school. So we see the daughter's voice really being sort of drowned out by this litany of direction or instruction coming from the mother. It's a very fast-paced narrative. Again, one in which the mother seems to not think very highly of the daughter at first. Although I want you to pay attention to the way that the directions kind of change towards the end of the narrative. There's a moment where the mother has been sort of cautioning the daughter against becoming this sort of negative version of a woman or quote unquote not ladylike. And then as you get towards the bottom of the narrative, the mother provides some advice that seems counter to the advice that she gives earlier in the narrative, sort of suggesting ways that the daughter might express herself in a more masculine way or um, giving some directions on how the daughter may hold herself or exist in a sort of male-dominated world that allows her to have some control over her body and some control over who she is as an individual. So again, just like when leaving them at the border, I want you to think about the places where you see narrative tension being built in Girl.